Hey there, welcome to Pop Culture Cupid.
I'm Alison, love coach, here to help you single people find your way back to love.
And I'm Michal, I'm a single life coach. I help singles embrace themselves and their singleness, as well as develop a healthy self relationship.
In this podcast, we will look at how pop culture impacts romance, dating, and your love life.
And each week we'll shoot another arrow through another pop culture delusion.
I thought we weren't going to do the whole cheesy thing.
And then burst into smithereens.
Oh my god, dude, that's so cringe!
Sorry, it's in the intro now.
If you make it through the chaos and you enjoy what you hear, please leave a comment, like, subscribe, and go to all the social media.
At Pop Culture Cupid on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Enjoy!
Hello!
Yay! Oh my god, it only took us 8 minutes this time.
8 minutes, and yeah, exactly 8 minutes. I thought you were going to say that it's 8 past the hour, but it's not. It's 11 past the hour.
No.
We've connected slightly late.
Hey, it's 11:11 by me, so someone's thinking about me.
Yay, angels.
Yeah.
How are you?
I've been a bit under the weather, but I'm in denial. So
right,
pushing through
the
it.
river in
a
Egypt.
lot of, yes. We're we're drinking a lot of ginger shots, a lot of tea, a lot of lozenges, and fun stuff like that. So
yeah.
But other than that, I can't complain. Well, there's a lot to complain about, but I'm trying not to complain. I don't like complaining. I think complaining is terrible. But yes. Well, how about you?
I'm doing well. I'm on my period, which is never fun.
Oh, same here.
Oh my god, Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, fun. Oh, that's do you think it's the international connection between us?
Could very well be.
I met JT's family over the holidays.
For the first time?
For the first time.
Wow.
So that was, big thing. So yeah, very exciting.
Was it like in the movies?
No, not at all.
No.
It depends what movie.
Well, no Mr. Fokker coming to grill you and working for the CIA.
No, not that. But his brother is very nice, and so his brother and his brother's wife, they are very, very nice, very welcoming. But the mother is something else.
Well,
and I had been warned.
They usually are.
Yeah, I had been warned. So anyway, but yeah, have you met your boyfriend's family?
I have, and they're incredible. And family to me is very important.
Yeah.
So both, first of all, that he gets along with my family, and second of all, to have someone with a family that I can get along with too. I just like that. Like family is more important. Like my friends are also very important to me, but my family is more important. I just love the feeling of family.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, so we met. I can't remember when we first met, but it was like we hit it off straight away. Like both him with my family and me with his family. So that was really nice.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I'm also very family. He's not so much, which creates an interesting dynamic. In which he doesn't really understand why Christmas was a big deal and just all these things.
Yeah.
But because he's not a dickhead, he's very open to spending time with my family, but he kind of goes to see his family as an obligation because weird relationship with his mother is very chaotic. Let's say chaotic. You are not dating your partner's family. You are dating your family. And wait, what? That's not what I want to say. You are not dating your partner's family. You are dating your partner, and you need to adapt to the way he functions.
Wait, can you say that again? My brain didn't comprehend that very well. I'm a bit slow today.
you know, you hear about these things. How could I date someone whose mother is so blah blah blah, whose family is so blah blah blah?
Yeah.
And JT's mother, she's a piece of work. And so what I'm
And
saying is, pardon?
I was going to say, and hopefully she doesn't listen to the podcast.
And hopefully she doesn't listen to the podcast. I don't think she ever would though. And she would have logged off when we started talking about period. She would have logged off anyway, so it's fine.
Yes. Anyway, you were
Anyway,
saying.
so I'm dating JT. I'm not dating JT's family.
Yeah.
And just because family is a big deal to me does not mean it needs to be a big deal to him and his family. I need to adapt to how his family functions, and he needs to adapt to how my family functions to a degree. You know,
Yeah.
it's just, we spend, 95 to 99% of our time without each other's families. So we're not gonna, mess everything up because of that 1 to 5% of the time,
Yeah, that's true. I mean, here's the like I think it's a bit different here, but living in Israel, I sometimes forget how like people in other countries also live further away from their families and also have different dynamics with their
Yeah,
families. So sometimes it's harder for me to comprehend the idea of not being close to your family. But yeah, when you're dating someone and I mean, it would annoy me a bit if I couldn't get along with someone from their family, but if I like the person and they're good to me and I'm good for them and we fit well, then you get over it. And
exactly.
you know, with time she can soften, she can warm up, she can get used to it. And
Yeah,
you don't break. Uh, there's another saying in Hebrew, like to break the package. I think that's how you said. Anyway, you don't blow it all up just because of one person in the family, no matter who that person is, especially if there's other
exactly.
people in the family who do like you and who are supportive
Exactly.
and are being welcoming. So yeah.
Exactly. I talked about this friend a while back, who's had an argument with her boyfriend over around Christmas and things like that. His family is extremely chaotic, the whole family. And she was telling me, I don't know what to do about this family situation. And I said, how often do you see the family? And she said, once a year. And I was like, I mean, you can't deal with chaos once a year for love for this guy. If you're at a point where you can't deal with chaos once a year, then you need to reevaluate your relationship.
Yeah. I remember the saying, it's to take apart the package. Not that it
Yeah,
matters. But yeah, you have to really weigh the,
pros and cons.
yeah. So when you put it with once a year in comparison to the rest of the year, then that's fine. It's so strange to me though, to just the concept of seeing your family only once a year.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
I see my family every single week. No more than that.
Yeah,
But yeah.
yeah, I would say that I'm close to my family, like on the French average standard. I'm close to my family, but I see them once a month. So yeah, it definitely is probably cultural. I don't. I think, I guess it depends on the size of the country and everything. But my parents live an hour and a half drive away. His parents live a 4 hour drive away. My grandparents live like 3 hours from where I am, um, just over 4 hours from where my parents are. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it is cultural.
Yeah. I mean, we're very family oriented over here. So it's like a very big deal, like to have family and like we have like, the Shabbat meals. So it's like all inclusive, like included and
Mm.
ingrained into our religion, basically. So but it's okay. We love it.
We love it.
Like, yeah. I mean, I think it also, well, it's also dependent on the family because, and we're digressing a bit here, but my like my brothers-in-law always laugh at my sisters and I that we're good friends, even though we're sisters, but we're like each other's, social circle.
Yeah.
So it's not like, it's like not very common to be as close, but it's common to have like close family relations, if I made any sense over there. I don't know.
Yeah, it did make sense. And I see what you mean about closeness with family, because my brothers, I consider them to be friends before brothers,
Yeah.
in the sense that, yes, they're my brothers and, blood and everything, but I choose, like, if they weren't my brothers, I would still choose to have them in my life. That type of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I completely get it. I mean, and yeah, I'm just thinking about all these times where we just put each other first. I don't know. I think I definitely see both of them as my friends. I think the youngest one sees me as just this big sister. Just because I think of the age gap, we're 7 years apart.
Yeah.
I think that's just, the age gap. But yeah, there is something to family and just not really thinking about it. But I do think, yes, it's something that you cultivate. It's something that you have to nurture and keep alive. Like, you shouldn't just take it for granted.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I think my sisters and I, the current relationship that we had wasn't always so good. Like, it started, I think, in the past few years, we just got close and we just started hanging out more, and it just become, part of our social life. And well, my sisters also live in the same village, so they
Right.
like live literally 10 meters from each other, so they see each other all the time. And so it's just part of, we work on it, and it wasn't always like that. And some people prioritize hanging out with friends and some people prioritize hanging out with family. And I think there's also this kind of view of family relations where we sort of make a separation in our minds that family members can't be friends, which is strange to me because they're the easiest people friend, but to each their own.
Yeah. I mean, what type of age gap do you have with your sisters?
Well, my younger sister's only a year and a half younger than me.
Right.
And my older sister is 3.5 years older than me. And then we have an older brother who's, oh, sorry?
And they have 5 years between them. And then you have a brother?
Yeah, and then we have a brother who's older than us, he's about 7 years older than me. And so, but he has autism, so we're not, so it's a bit more complicated, the whole dynamics there. And when my parents divorced, he moved in with my father, so we didn't really grow up together as much. But yeah.
And is it important for you for your sisters to get along with your partner?
Oh, very much so. Yeah. I mean, my brothers-in-law are like brothers to me, and it's part of the family, and I love getting along with them. And it was important for me and for my family to have someone that, that's also part of the family dynamics. And he fit in like a glove. It was incredible. I think also in my family, because it hasn't been anyone new, like there hasn't been a new character in a very long time.
Right.
Especially for my nieces and nephew, it was very exciting to have someone new come into the family. And he's like, we're already over a year in, but he's still like sort of like this exciting new character that's come into their life. And so
that's so sweet. That is
Yeah.
that's so sweet. I see what you mean. I mean, for I agree with you. I agree with you that I love the fact that I would like JT would get along with my brothers and things like that, but they're so far away for one. One
Yeah.
of them is 2 hours away, and the other is in the north of France, a 4 hour train ride away. So it's a 7 hour drive. So he's so far away. So it's difficult to get in motion. But I think just to put kind of an asterisk on that of just you don't want to base everything on what your family thinks. And I know that's not what you're doing. I'm just saying it for our listeners and viewers. You know, you want to make sure that your family it's a balancing thing, because you'll have families who know you and who want the best for you and who can kind of see certain things that you may not be able to see. So you want to like listen to them, but you don't want them to invade every single part of your relationship and have too much of a say on what things happen. Then again, this being said, in certain countries you still have arranged marriages and they end up being amazing. And your mum introduced you to your boyfriend, right?
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it wasn't an arranged marriage, but they knew they knew each other, but like then they introduced, and it's a great way to meet people, by the way. I think every person who is looking for someone, one of the best ways to do it is ask people in their life. You never know who they may know, and just get over the awkwardness of it. Not that I had to do much in the matter. He by chance saw my mother one day, asked her about her bachelorette daughter, and the rest is history. But but actually we in our religion we have like the ultra orthodox that still have arranged marriages to this day. Like I have cousins who are very religious who also have arranged marriages, and they work incredibly because, and this was explained to me once, because you know how like in I mean, this is a bit of a generalization, so don't take me at my word, but in secular cultures you sort of focus on so much outside noise and so many things around, and you're sort of not very minded. Whereas when you are in a religious culture who's minded towards a specific thing which is right for them but may not be right for another person, I think what they're doing is beautiful in a way, but I also don't think being minded only towards getting married and having kids is such a great thing for me. So, you know, but what they do is they focus specifically on someone who the parents get to know first, and they decide if they're right for the daughter, and they know the daughter very well and they want the best for her. So, you know, and then you focus specifically on getting to know the person for certain, you know, without all the am I gonna have sex with them, am I gonna ghost them, there's all, you know, all those toxic habits that we have out of the picture basically.
But it's I see what you mean. And this so I grew up in like the countryside, well, not countryside, but like very like small town vibes. And then I very quickly kind of wanted to go to the big city, and so that's how I got here in Lyon. And I dated, I mean, I said the other time where I've been maybe on 100 dates, and I mean, you know, I've been on many like first, second, third dates. So I don't know, 50 to 80 men, I don't know, like just coffee dates and whatever. Because I've my adult life, I was single for like a total of 5 years. So, you know, it adds up. I'm not saying that I slept with all of them, like just saying, you know, dates and everything. And and so that's the big city type of vibe. And over Christmas, we were at my aunt and uncle's, who are like farmers, countryside. They've been together for over 30. I think 30 years actually. I may have been to their wedding, not sure. Anyway, let's say 30 years. And they are so in love with each other. Like they kind of you can see kind of like that adolescent type of love. And I was thinking about it, I was just like, and I don't see that type of love anymore. And I think it's because people get overwhelmed with choice and kind of like thinking the grass is greener and swiping and all of these things, whereas so obviously it's a different generation, but I think they, because they kind of can only meet each other and know each other, they I don't know about force themselves, but they just, somewhere in their psyche, it's just like, well, I'm gonna have to make it work, might as well be happy with this person, so I'm just gonna make it work. And I mean, same with my grandparents, but that's obviously a not complete other generation. But same with my parents and like my cousins and their partners, they are all in this type of cocoon of love and not really thinking about what's on the other side and what else they could get. And I was just like, damn. So I think it's that there's something to say about just making it work with what you've got. And yeah, it's that thing about us just, being just focused on that one person. And my cousins are not at all in the sense of, they need to be in a relationship and they need to have a family. They are just, they met these people and they're like, okay, well, now we're going to make it work. Obviously there are exceptions, with violence and, intense distrust. Yes. But overall, if you're just lacking in choice or just content with what you've got, you can make something really beautiful out of it. My cousin's girlfriend is just obsessed with him, not in a negative way, but she's just, oh, he's so gorgeous, he's so nice, he's so brave, blah blah blah. And I was like, it's a bit much, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it on his behalf,
Yeah, I mean, it's different generations, different cultures, and I feel like the world is so much bigger right now because of technology. The world used to be so much smaller, whereas like I remember even as a child where we didn't have the internet, we didn't have smartphones. I mean, we had phones and whatever. Like my parents couldn't even at certain points couldn't even call up their friends to say, hey, I'm here, you coming?
Yeah, because they're connected to the internet.
When you're getting here. Yeah. So I remember we had to disconnect the phone and then connect the internet and then wait for that. Anyway, yes, we're digressing. What was I going to say? So the world is much bigger. There's more apps, there's more choices, there's more, like we're constantly thinking of what we're missing out on. We're like this FOMO generation.
Oh yeah.
We're eating a fish and we can't stop thinking about all the other fish that we left in the sea.
Exactly.
And it's never ending. And especially with this culture which is why I despise TikTok, or one of the reasons why I despise TikTok, is where it's like the attention span is so short. If you haven't caught the person in the first second, then that's it. And if it's longer than 5 seconds, then that's it. And we get sick of things easily. We give up easily. We don't want to put in the effort. We just feel like me. I deserve this. I deserve that. And we don't want to give from ourselves too much. And we're sort of like, we don't want to put in the hard work. And there's a lot of different like cultural difference. So once upon a time, you used to stay in the same career for 40, 50 years. They used to stay in the same marriages for that long. There's a lot of different cultures, and in Hebrew we say for good and for bad. Could we say that in English? For good and bad?
For better or for worse?
For better or for worse. Thank you. Oh my God, my bilingual brain. Yes. For better or for, obviously, duh. So, each side has its pros and cons, because I can't imagine being in the same job for so many years and whatever, and you get bored. But where am I going with this? I am going with this to say that
people's attention span.
Yeah, it's just but But here's the thing: is that I'm like, I don't know. Like I might have said this before in one of the previous episodes, where I was thinking about in this relationship that I have with my boyfriend, where I didn't realize this until I heard a YouTuber that I watched say something about her own relationship in the same sense, where suddenly I realized, wait, that's true. That since we started dating, I don't think I've even once, or maybe like in passing, but not really, have thought about what am I missing out on? Wait, there must be someone better out there for me. I wonder if I can find someone who's more like this or more like that, and less like this and less like that. And I haven't really I certainly haven't dwelled on it like I have in past relationships. And I feel like that's something that comes along with the territory when you have a healthy relationship and a healthy mindset in that relationship. And when you're not constantly worried about everything else. Yes, there could be someone, I don't know, I don't even know what, like, that's how healthy my relationship is. I don't know what else could be better than this, you know? Obviously there's always someone else that can be out there, but like at some point you have to figure out, then, you know, you just drive yourself crazy over it. And yeah. And with the right person, you don't feel the need to, sorry, but last what with the right person, you don't feel the need to constantly look at other people's green grass or whatever, which a lot of the times is just keeping up appearances and not really what goes on behind closed doors. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been rewatching Desperate Housewives, and that show is just typically, you know, like appearances lie. You know, Brie Van de Kamp and, you know, Lynette Scarver. It's just like what you show is not the actual reality. And or, you know, even if you know what they are showing is some sense of reality, you know, you don't know what they don't show. And, you know, having the seemingly perfect thing may entail, you know, working until 11 p.m. at night, or not seeing your partner, or I don't know, just being alone part of the day. I don't know, that it's just, yeah, you don't want to be comparing yourself to anything, or the grass is greener. And, you know, when you're thinking about what you dislike about your partner or whatever, you want to think about, you know, is this a fatal flaw? Is this going to kill us, or is this just something I need to get over? And that's to each their own. And I guess that's, you know, that's why you've got friends or coaches or therapists or doctors and things like that, of just that are there to kind of help you figure it out. What are you happy to accept, to not accept? And, you know, are you in danger, not in danger? Is your physical health in danger, mental health not in danger, things like that. That's a long way from family.
Yeah.
But I was going to loop back to just like thinking about family and being accepted in each other's family and things like that. And there is a chance that she and he, so my brother and his girlfriend, may listen to this. But she and I had, kind of still do, but less so, a lot of trouble getting along. A lot of trouble getting along. And just for the sake of, you know, their privacy, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I was, you know, I'm fiercely loyal to my brothers. And even though my brother, I know he's not perfect, I'm just like, my brother and like my close friends, it's just like, yes, I know that they messed up, but I'm still going to be on their side. I'm still gonna, you know, and unless it's something really bad, like really, really bad, if it's just messing up, I'm still going to be on their side and just, you know, and help them through the phase. And so even though my brother messed up a couple of times, I consider that she messed up way more. And so yeah, it's they've been together since I think 2015. Yeah, 2015, 2016. It's been a long time. And I'm just like, it is very complicated getting along with her. It's better now. It's definitely, but it goes through these ups and downs. And so not the summer that's just gone, but the one before, she and I got in a huge argument. And it put my brother in a very awkward situation. And he and I had this tough talk where he was like, "You're my sister. I can't let you feel this way because of my girlfriend." And I said, "But you also can't really base your whole relationship around your sister, because we see each other 4 or 5 times a year, which is sad. We would like to see each other way more. It's just not possible." And it was very strange. And I later found out that he hated my ex-boyfriend, which is, it's unsurprising. Like, now that I think about it, I'm just like, oh yeah, I completely know why. But I'm like, it's weird, because that would mean he would force himself to spend time with him, which I kind of did with him for a while, forcing myself to spend time with him and his girlfriend, because I wanted to spend time with him. So it's very, it's a balance. It's very strange.
It's rough when it's someone that's so close to you and then they're with someone that you can't get along with. It's a rough situation. I don't know what I would do in that case. I mean, I don't know. It's such a, I know, a lot of words of wisdom today.
Yeah.
No, but I wanted to circle it back to a minute, to keeping up appearances. Just I don't know if you ever saw that there was a British show called Keeping Up Appearances with Mrs. Bouquet. Have you seen it ever? It's so
No.
funny, with this woman so concerned and revolving around what the neighbors are doing or what the neighbors are saying. And we worry ourselves so much about what other people are doing and saying. But even worse, we compare ourselves to the front that they put up.
Yeah.
And we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. And we don't know if the grass is really green or if it's only watered where you can see it.
Yeah.
And yet we tend to compare ourselves to them. And, the grass is also green where you water it. So if you don't water your own grass, then what do you expect? And you're only looking at other people.
That is very well said, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you. And especially in this day and age where everything's online and we share every single tiny detail of our life, that the government doesn't even have to do the work. And so everything's out there, and it's constantly in our face, where people are like, maybe it also kind of brings me back to what we're comparing the generations beforehand. But once upon a time, it wasn't in everyone's faces so much, and you didn't know what goes on behind closed doors because no one told you what goes on. And here people are literally on TikTok, while the doors are closed, putting on a camera and showing that their partner cheating on them, or them confronting, or them telling a story, an embarrassing story. Like, everything's out there. And what was my point? My point is that maybe if we weren't so busy on I don't know, sharing everything and every tiny detail, and weren't so obsessed with what other people are doing, and you see the perfect Instagram worthy picture, when in reality, you had to flip the world upside down to just get that one perfect picture. Things aren't so rosy and pink as they are online, and yet we live our life according to that. Like, we go to, when we travel, we go to all the TikTok famous places, we buy all the TikTok famous stuff, we do things because our favorite TikTok or influencer bought it. Like, we don't, like, maybe that's also why we don't think for ourselves as much. And I'm sorry, I'm digressing here and I'm getting into a rant. So yes.
Well, yes to all of that. I mean, just regrouping on
We're kind of
I mean,
all
look,
over the place here today,
we are
but
all over
yeah.
the place. But I mean, it's fine. It gives for good conversation.
Oh, for sure.
You know, there's so many. I was gonna go. I'm gonna say two things. One thing, there's this model who I can't remember her name, but she posted this short video of, I don't know, on YouTube or Instagram, whatever, of her saying, "Don't compare yourself to top models because we've got
I saw that,
professional
I think.
people." We've got professional makeup artists putting on professional makeup on us that stays well. We've got professional hairdressers and then a professional photographer with like a good setup that you can never get to with your phone, and lighting and everything, and the clothing and the pins and things like that. And even with all of that, we are airbrushed and photoshopped afterwards. Like, do not compare yourselves to models. Like, I don't even compare myself to the pictures that I take, is what she was saying. So it was good. I mean, we all know it, but I think it's nice to be reminded of it. And like, you've got couples, so the couples never say this. They will never. They will. I've yet to have seen a couple that will publicly say what we show on Instagram isn't reality.
Yeah.
However, there are so many of these kind of social media famous couples that within a few years of their fame or whatever, just break up out of nowhere. Same with celebrities and things like that. But you know, you've got these couples that make their fame from being a couple, and then they break up after a couple of years, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe like everything was so perfect." So one of them must have cheated. One of them is like, well, no, it's just that they don't show everything else. Like, even if they post 10 videos a day, a video is a video is 1 minute, so you see 10 minutes of their lives every day. Like, there is a whole 23 hours and 50 minutes of the day. You don't know what it's like to get that video recorded. You don't know, you know,
how edited it is.
You don't know if, you know, if it's just one day of video making and then a whole week of, you just don't know. And it's not 10 videos a day, you know, it's just, you know, once or twice or wwhatever.
Yeah. And people love to lie, so
yeah, people love to lie. I've been thinking that I want to start my because I you know, everything that's been going on in 2023, I just didn't post as much, which I'm well, I mean, it is not good marketing, to be completely honest. And I've been thinking that I want to post every day something about my relationship, and I want it to be very like real. I want sometimes to just, oh, my boyfriend did this and it's great, and I also want to say, and he did this and it's not great, and I did this and it's great, and I did this and it's not great. And I keep thinking I want to start doing that, and for some reason I'm not. But I think I would like to do it as unedited as possible, of just, you know, filming 30 seconds of me talking of this happened, and then just posting it and seeing what happens. Because just just, you know, stuff can't be good every day. And on the like, circle back with my brother and things like that, that one of the reasons that I dislike his girlfriend is because he would complain about her a lot, and we ended up like realizing that you only talk to your family members about when things go bad, or like, that's the culture in France anyway. Like, everybody around me, we always say we never talk about the good stuff, we always talk about the bad stuff. And then you've got this like huge contrast with social media where it will only be the good stuff like 95% of the time. And it's just this weird world. It is a very weird world where with your loved ones you'll talk about the bad stuff and complain a lot, and so they'll have this image of the negativity, and then you'll have your following that will only have like this filtered, rose tinted like visual. Very strange. So that's what I've been wanting to do, of just posting, you know, daily, kind of like, this went well, this didn't go well, I'm you know, expecting this, or things like that. What provoked this idea is that he was telling me about this friend who messaged him, and I was like, okay, a girlfriend, or a friend who's a girl. And I was like, okay. And he was like, oh, and I haven't talked to her in a while, blah blah blah. And she found out I was single, and so this was a while back. She found out that he separated from his daughter's mother, and she didn't hear that he was back in a relationship. And then she sent him a picture of herself saying, look at how blue the sky is, where you literally only see like on the top side of the picture the blue sky, the rest of it is just her. And I was just like, she's flirting with you. And he said, no, she's not. And I was like, you need to open your eyes, she's flirting with you. And anyway, and so that kind of just, and we got not in an argument, but we was clueless anyway.
Yeah, men are clueless sometimes, but it is important. I think it's very important, especially as a love coach, where you're helping people, you know, navigate love and relationships. I think it's important to see that not everything is always rosy and pink and beautiful and perfect, nor should it be.
Yeah.
Like a relationship with, especially, you know, when you with that person, most of your time is not going to be perfect, and it's not always going to be argument free, and it's not always going to be, you know, getting along so perfectly well 100% of the time.
Yeah,
and
sure.
The world needs to see more of that side of things and understand that it's okay. It doesn't mean that you have to be in a constant uphill battle, and it doesn't mean that it's okay to always be in an ongoing argument and fight, but it's okay when it happens every so often. And it's also important to learn how to have an argument, how to have a productive fight, how to, you know, I say this often, that you need to fight with intention, like to fight not with each other but for each other, and like not against each other, with each other. Like, you know, you're fighting to get through this so you can advance in your relationship and learn from it and develop and avoid these kind of things in the future. And so I think if more people showed that side of things, then maybe less people would compare themselves to that perfection and feel bad. And, you know, you less people will be like, because a lot of times I hear of people in relationships that just give up because of, you know, some stupid argument. You give up much more easily because you don't want, you get scared from small fights every so often. And when we see people only putting up a front, we're like, well, maybe that's what I should be looking for. It's sort of, well, it's basically the exact same thing that Hollywood movies do. They make love and life and relationships look perfect and look like they come easily without any effort and without any arguments and without any stumbles and falls and holes we fall into, and without any breakdowns and yeah. So we sort of need to show, like, if already you're showing your life online, then at least also, you know, don't only edit it. I mean, there are some people who show a bit too much of it, and, you know, show too much of things that should probably stay private. But you have to, again, everything in life is balance. You have to find the right balance. And because again, you don't want to only show the bad things. You also want to encourage people, and you want to show them how it should be. But yeah.
And just to kind of like play devil's advocate and contradict myself even, it's like, why are people putting so much up on the internet?
Mm-hmm.
You know, the reason why I was thinking about doing it is because I want to kind of, you know, as a love coach, use my own relationship as an example and show that it's not perfect and things like that. You've got so many of these people kind of like making a living from posting. I think it's the, you know, the Kardashian kind of like trend of just putting everything online and becoming famous for making your life completely open to everyone. It's very strange to me. Very, very strange.
Yeah. But I think we need to differentiate here. I'm thinking about this now. There's a difference between being an influencer online or some random person online who's sharing their whole private life just for the sake of, you know, just getting likes and follows and views, and just talking about every single thing that goes on in their life, and a coach or a professional who's sharing in order to help you learn and, you know, and get something out of it, you know. Here you're getting entertainment, here you're getting value and tips for life, and so it's a matter of really taking a look at something and understanding what it is and what the point of it is.
Yeah.
But anyway,
How do your guys' family influence your relationships, and what do you post on social media about your family? Tell us.
are you asking me? Are you asking
No,
the viewers?
I'm asking the viewers.
Okay, good. I was like,
I know
did we
about
just
you.
answer that? I'm sorry, my
Tell
brain is
us.
so slow today.
Don't
Yeah, let us
worry.
know. Let us know your family dynamics.
Yeah, on Instagram, YouTube. Send us an email, popculturecupid with 2 Ds at gmail.com,
Yeah.
and just tell us how everything is.
Yeah, and let us know what you think of like the generational difference, and what do you think the impact is on, you know, on the world
Life.
and people.
Yeah.
Ugh, so philosophical. Oh my God. Anyway,
Bye, everyone.
bye bye.